I've never done a driving gig. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a scene out of the animated thing Cars, like I was looking for Mater out there.
I'm stoked to talk about this album because it was last time we connected was in Nashville and you were working on it. It's such a vibrant album, and I just want to first say congratulations.
Thank you very much. Vibrant's a good term. I love that you feel that way about it.
The Speed of Now, I can't think of a better title and more fitting title for right now in 2020. It's times like this. Do you love being a musician to be able to give this gift of new music to all of your fans?
Definitely, yeah. Particularly grateful that I'm one of the musicians who loves recording and being in the studio, because I know a lot who don't. I know a lot who just want to get the record done and get it out and get on the road, but I love being in the studio. So that's really been my stage.
You're the king of collaborations, and you have so many great collabs on this album. To mention just a few off the top: Nile Rodgers, Legend. You've got Eric Church, Pink.
And Pink was just from the heavens, She's one of the absolute great. All hail the Queen. Absolute jewel in that crown. To finally hear her voice on that track was just celestial.
So I got to tell you, my husband's a writer, musician, and producer, and this has been the silver lining of this pandemic has been being home and being in the same household, in the same space for the most amount of time we've ever had together consecutively. So what has it been like for you and your family during this time?
We're really close anyway, the four of us. We're very, very tight. And that's certainly because they're like the families Nick and I came from. Nick and her sister and her mom and dad, very, very close. Me and my brother and my mom and dad, very close, tight little units. So because we come from that, it's just naturally what we seek to create, So we're pretty close anyway, but certainly we've gotten them even closer through this period. So, and it's such an unusual silver lining, isn't it? Because I'm always reminded why we have this time and what a lot of other people are going through, a very different kind of journey that a lot of other people have been going through. So it's always, that never leaves me, So it's bittersweet. It's been a bittersweet year in so many ways.
What do they think of the album? I'm sure they've been hearing it before anybody heard it. What are their thoughts?
Yeah. One of the things that because they hear a lot of this stuff when it's being written and created, particularly if it's happening in my studio downstairs at the house, which a lot of these things were in the last, 6 months. I've realized that no matter who I play the music for, whether it's Nick or friends of mine or, my manager, anybody, I used to be only interested in what their reaction was, but I've realized it's actually how I feel playing it for them that tells me so much about whether this is finished or not. If I'm really happy playing it for someone and I feel really good about it, I know it's finished, despite their reaction, good or bad. The way I feel about it is everything.
So working on an album during quarantine, was that different for you?
Being in a room physically with somebody, particularly if you're writing songs, that's something that I just couldn't do in a virtual situation.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. There's something about the real-time energy and the energy of a person in the room, physically in the room, that brings out something different.
There's a difference with energy, even doing this interview virtually.
Totally.
It's a totally different energy. I completely hear that. You've always been an artist who has been so supportive, and you give back, and you supported healthcare workers, frontline workers with your concert. You were one of the first artists to really do this big concert, this socially distanced concert. Talk to me about that. Like, where did that idea come from, and how did it feel to perform for them, but also in a different capacity than you've ever done before?
I didn't quite know what it was going to be like. I thought, is it going to be just sort of a muffled, can I hear people singing muffled in their cars and sort of muffled cheering? I don't know what to expect. I didn't realize, of course, it's really more of a tailgate party than anything. It's a straight up, it's less of a drive-in, it's more of a tailgate party, which was just fine. with me, and the fact that we got to do it for only all the frontline and healthcare workers was just right. It was the right way to do it. But I also dedicated this album to all of them too. So anybody who buys the CD will see it written on the back of the disc.